Yeah. Never mind. Let's go live. What is up, everybody? It is Horror Headlines. We're finally back. It is August 20th, a Tuesday night, the new night for Horror Headlines. I am Calamity John Maher. That is the Hitman Hunter Chambliss from Welcome to Primetime. I am John Maher from Why We Love Horror. And every week we're going to try to get to you, give you the latest news in the horror world. Hunter, how are you doing today?
We are back. I am super excited to be here, John. Horror Headlines. I've missed doing this, so let's get to the first topics.
All right, what is the first topic we're talking about this evening? And if you're on TikTok, watch us on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube or X or wherever the hell we're doing, just throw your comments there. Hunter's going to monitor.
Yep.
I'll keep that everything else.
All right, our first topic is Alien Romulus debuts with $108 million worldwide opening weekend. This comes to us from BloodDisgusting.com. The Alien franchise is back on the big screen for the first time in 7 years with director Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus, which is notably the very first Alien movie to be released under the Disney umbrella. Most fans and critics agree that Alvarez has done another horror franchise proud with Romulus, which currently sits at an 82 fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
So you said Alien, right?
I have not. I'm seeing it this weekend.
We're covering this on Why We Love Horror on Thursday, and I know it's a divisive movie, right? I love it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Aaron didn't like it. He gave it a 2. Abby didn't like it. She gave it a 2. But
wow.
My take on this movie is it's been a while since we've had a movie. And Prometheus and Covenant took the franchise in a different direction. And honestly, it was a very – I like – Prometheus and Covenant. It's a very cerebral direction to take the franchise in. I think what Fede Alvarez is doing is he's kind of just recentering the franchise, giving us a more accessible movie for maybe people that haven't seen any Alien movies. Because if you hadn't seen the Alien movies and you jumped in with Prometheus, you might think it's like some weird, like elevated horror movie. But jumping in with Romulus, you probably only need to see Alien to get Romulus. It's a much more accessible movie, and I think that's going to be why it's going to be successful when history is written.
Oh, awesome. But yeah, it says that Alien Romulus debuted in the #1 spot with $41.5 million, giving the film the second highest U.S. opening weekend for a horror movie this year behind A Quiet Place Day 1. After a few days, Alien Romulus is already the second highest grossing movie of 2024. For the sake of comparison, Ridley Scott's prequel Prometheus opened to $51 million at the domestic box office in 2012, while the follow-up movie I think they have a typo here, Alien Covenant. Yeah, because they had Romulus on here, so I guess somebody made a typo. Had a $36.1 million domestic opening weekend. So, John, thoughts on Alien Romulus opening up with $108 million weekend?
I think it makes sense that it's opening that strong. I think the marketing was on point. I think all the trailers were really good, especially if you are. I think most younger horror fans now, obviously, we're not old enough to enjoy Alien or Aliens. They might have just gone back and watched those movies. Alien Romulus. The actors and actresses they cast, Spaney and Johnson, they're accessible to younger people, and all the characters look like consumers in this movie. So it's marketed extremely smart. Having watched the movie, I think it's going to resonate with younger horror fans, and I think it's going to encourage them to go back to the movie. And we are going to be talking later about potential sequels.
I think your mic is low. You're choppy up.
Am I choppy now if I go like this and talk right into it?
No, you're good.
All right. I think if Fede Alvarez is going to be the dude going forward, if he's going to get at least one more movie, I think given what he did with Romulus, we're going to get everything incorporated. Because Prometheus and Covenant are technically prequel to the timeline. And then, then it goes all the way out to Alien Resurrection, which is like 2 centuries after.
Mhm.
So he's got a lot of material to play with. We'll see.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
if you are watching, feel free to drop your opinions in the chat. Go ahead, Hunter.
From the non-spoiler like reviews I've been watching, I believe doesn't this take place between Alien and Aliens?
It is basically, and I'm not spoiling anything. I'll let you know the first like 5 minutes of the movie. It is a direct sequel to Alien. You find out that at the end of Alien, when the Nostromo is destroyed by Ripley and she escapes, since the alien, the xenomorph, is such a highly evolved creature, it actually has a defense mechanism for when it's sucked into the vacuum of space, and it actually creates like a meteor like cocoon around itself. And then you learn that the Weyland-Yutani Corporation sent out a second salvage vehicle and they recovered the xenomorph. And Romulus is the station that got the sample. So this crew of ragtag people who are escaping a mining colony decide to go there to steal their cryogenic fuel and all this stuff. And that's when they come upon the ruined Romulus station. You kind of learn through exposition what happened there. And that's why there's still plenty of movie after all that happens. There's still an hour and a half after that happens. Don't worry.
All right, awesome.
Great character movie. Like a lot of people complain that the side characters are shitty. They are, but the main characters are great, and that is always that's all I care about.
All right, let's move on to our second topic of the night. The trailer for The Front Room, which stars Brandy Norwood, has been released. This is the new A24 movie directed by the Egger brothers. So let's get it again. This is from blooddisgusting.com. Brandy from I Still Know What You Did Last Summer returns to horror in the upcoming A24 horror movie The Front Room, and the brand new second trailer has arrived this week. A24 will release The Front Room in theaters on September 6, 2024. And here's what the I guess the little topic is. The film follows a young, newly pregnant couple forced to take in an alien stepmother who has long been estranged from the family. This is directed by Max Egger and Sam Egger were both producers, and they co-wrote this film as well with Robert. So, John, thoughts on the second trailer for The Front Room?
I saw the first trailer, I believe, before. Was it before Trap? It was before a movie I saw recently. They played the trailer for The Front Room. And with the exception of a very, very small amount of movies, A24, and I'm talking like early A24 horror, missed maybe one or two. But ever since they were 1 or 2 years into doing horror, they don't miss. The Front Room looks great. I guarantee it's going to be elevated. And just given the performances I saw via the trailer, it looks deep, and it looks like it's going to be maybe a little funny, but very intense. I can't really speak. Honestly, I'm not the right person to speak about, I believe it's an interracial relationship and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not the right person to speak on that. But I guarantee there'll be themes that are explored, and I trust A24 to do it.
Yeah, so this was actually the first trailer that I watched for The Front Room. It looks so much fun. It looks like, as you said, it could be dealing with more elevated themes, which A24 does very well. It also looks like it's going to be a great mix of dark comedy with a little bit of action, a little bit of horror, suspense, what's going on. You've got a lot of different Easter eggs just from the trailer. Like you can see, the stepmom has this book that Brandy opens up, and she sees a lot of different stuff from the past. So this is directed by Max and Sam Eggers, the brothers of Robert Eggers. So I'm intrigued to see if they can follow in their brother's footsteps and give us a really good original horror film.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to. They've been at least arm's length involved with all of Robert's projects.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine Robert is not like absent from the project. So I have a feeling like there's enough hands here to make this good.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, like I said, the trailer looks good. Check out the trailer for the front room if you haven't yet, or if you're like Aaron and you avoid trailers, don't.
By the way, I love that A24 trailers don't seem to give away anything.
Oh no, that we know. Yeah, it's like you have no idea what the movie's about. Like, I think I saw the trailer for Heretic too, the one with the Hugh Grant movie with like the Mormons that come to his house, and like it looks like it gives away like that he's basically like running like a maze prison thing in his house, but you know that's not the whole movie. You know that's just the mechanism. Something else has to be going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, let's move on to the third topic. Another trailer review, Amber Alert trailer from Lionsgate, which stars Hayden Panettiere and Tyler James Williams. Again, this comes from Bloody Disgusting. Scream 6 actor Hayden Panettiere and Walking Dead actor Tyler James Williams find themselves embroiled in a tense cat and mouse game in the upcoming Lionsgate thriller Amber Alert, and a new teaser trailer has been released. Amber Alert releases in theaters and on digital on September 27th, 2024. In the film, an ordinary rideshare becomes a high-stakes game of cat and mouse when Jack, Hayden Panettiere, and Shane, Tyler James Williams, receives an alert of a child abduction on their phones, quickly realizing that they are behind the car that matches the description of the kidnappers. Jack and Shane desperately race against time to save the child's life. So, John, thoughts on the trailer for Amber Alert?
That's cool. I mean, it seems we've seen probably plots like that in the past where it's like a horror movie where like civilians kind of get into it with criminals. So yeah, not an unheard of plot, but not one that we've seen recently. So I think it's safe to get a fresh take on this. I am intrigued by that on some level. You know, I'm gonna watch everything. I'm gonna watch it. I'll let you guys know how it comes out. So I'm not turned off by the concept of Amber Alert. I'll definitely check it out. Obviously, Hayden Panettiere coming off of Scream 6. I don't know if Tyler Williams has been doing anything since. He's the dude from Everybody Hates Chris, right? That's him?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I remember him from Walking Dead. I don't know what he's been doing in the interim, but he's definitely a great actor. So I'm interested to see what they do.
So this is actually a remake from the same director. He did this movie back in 2012. Same title, same director. So he's just, I guess, updating it for like.
Was it a short or a feature?
I think it was a feature film.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm interested when people do that. Like, there's been a few directors recently that have, reintroduced their work. And I think if they feel they didn't get a fair shake, and obviously they have producers that believe in them and want them to have a fair shake, I'm totally open to that. So that's fine.
Yeah. So I'm not sure because I haven't seen it. I'm not sure if that one uses like taxi service and this one is updated for like an Uber ride share thing, or if they both have the exact same thing, because Uber was around back then as well. So I can't really tell because I haven't seen either one of these. So from the trailer though, it seems very interesting. I like kind of cat and mouse games, especially when it's like, all right, we're on this kind of road journey where it seems like most of the movie is going to take place on the road, like following this kidnapper.
You mean like Joyride? Sounds like Joyride.
It does sound like Joyride. But I like those type of movies that like take place in like one or two central locations, and it seems like this movie is going to take place either on the road or at the house. Do you think that this trailer showed too much, or do you think we still don't know the full story yet?
I gotta be honest, I haven't seen the trailer, but usually when a movie like this comes out, like at this level, this budget, this type of plot, aside from like maybe like some action sequences, kills if they're happening in this movie, you're gonna know what's happening. And I don't think a movie that is this not talked about is going to necessarily give us like a gut punch ending. Like I don't feel like it's going to be Eden Lake or anything like that. So like
you never know. It could be.
No, I doubt it. This will probably be straightforward, and it sounds like it's going to be a fun time.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move on to our next topic. Go ahead and bring it up real quick. We have a new horror movie coming from first-time director Finn Wolfhard. Hell of a Summer, which is directed by Finn Wolfhard, will be is announced for a 2025 release date. Stranger Things and Ghostbusters Afterlife star Finn Wolfhard is the co-writer, co-director, and star of the upcoming horror comedy slasher movie Hell of a Summer. And distributor Neon has announced that they're bringing the film to theaters in 2025. Finn Wolfhard wrote and directed the upcoming movie alongside Billy Burke, BYRK Burke,
All right.
Ghostbusters Afterlife, with both actors also starring in the film. The cast also includes Fred Hanger from Fear Street 94, Abby Quinn, Mad About You, and many others. So, John, thoughts on the upcoming Hell of a Summer directed by Finn Wolfhard?
You did say Neon, correct?
Neon, yep. That's why I got excited.
Another studio that's just been like hitting grand slam after grand slam. So I can't imagine they would tag up this movie if it wasn't something special. So like while like Finn Wolfhard is maybe an unproven director, writer, etc., we know he definitely has been around horror. He's been around sci-fi. He's been around suspense. He definitely has been around enough of it to know what to do. But the fact that Neon's involved shows that they have faith in the script and product. Because I imagine that they've at least done principal shooting at that coming out next year. Yeah, in Neon we trust.
Exactly. Yeah, I got really excited when I heard that Neon was being like a distributor for this film because, again, this year and last year they put out some really great movies, just like A24. They keep knocking out of the park, and if they see something good in this script and in this production, or they see something in Finn Wolfhard and they want to, tap that potential, I'm all for it. I'm glad that Finn Wolfhard is now getting into like behind the scenes stuff as well as like in front of the camera because he is so young, but it's so good to see like younger talent really getting to shine, and not only just in front of the screen, but like with writing, with producing, with directing, with whatever outside of the camera lens that they can do. So I'm very excited to see what Finn Wolfhard can do.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he was also in the It movies, right? So, I mean, he's been around.
Oh yeah, and
Jetty, and obviously at arm's length from Stephen King. So,
he's also worked with Sean Levy as well.
Yeah, give him one shot.
Yeah, Sean Levy did a few episodes of Stranger Things, so he's got like he's got to work with a lot of different directors. So just because you have an actor going into the director seat doesn't mean it will always work. But the fact that Finn Wolfhard at such a young age has been around some of these like really, really great filmmakers can only be positive things.
Agreed. I agree 100% on that.
All right, let's move on to our final topic. And we started with Alien Romulus. We're going to end with Alien Romulus. Fede Alvarez talks Alien Romulus sequel. Again, from BloodyDisgusting.com. The Alien franchise is back with director Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus, which has secured over $100 million at the worldwide box office in its first few days of release. Set between the events of Alien and Aliens, the new movie is the 7th installment in the main Alien series and the first to be released by Disney. Chatting with the Hollywood Reporter this week, Fede Alvarez has revealed that he and co-writer Rodo oh my God, these names.
It's the guy who Rodo Segues.
Yes, yeah. Who co-wrote Evil Dead with him, has already had some early Alien Romulus sequel ideas. So then they go into spoilers for Alien Romulus, which we're not going to do. I do not want to see them. So, John, thoughts on potential Alien Romulus sequel?
I'm not sure. Maybe you can look this up for me while I ramble on. I'm not sure what the budget for Romulus was, $108 million opening is promising. I don't know, but if this is like a high budget Disney movie, they may need to do a little better before they're necessarily going to like expand the franchise like greatly. I would imagine the budget probably wasn't like a runaway like MCU movie because they did use a lot of AI in this movie. Like I won't.
All right, so the
won't
budget was 80 million.
80 million. So they're going to have to probably cross the 200 million barrier at least before they're getting like full confidence from Disney of all studios. But I think they will, and because we're not talking, because we're talking $108 million domestically. It did worldwide. It'll probably cross that number.
Oh yeah. Well, no, that's 108 million worldwide.
Worldwide. All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, it's only been 1 week, so you figure it'll be like 150 next week. If it crosses the 200 border, I think we're safe.
Oh yeah, and even then, I think because this movie was originally supposed to be just a Hulu exclusive, just like Prey was, but because, because they one have faith in Fede Alvarez, but two, they see this as potentially a franchise. They gave it the big theatrical release. So I think that's where most of the money went. I
think they realized they made a mistake not releasing Prey in theaters. What a huge like misstep that was. Like, even if they released it in the Comanche version in theaters, it would have killed in theaters. We all know this.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I feel like this movie will make its money back. I have no doubt about that. And, like, it will make money in the theaters because like doing 108 million worldwide is hard for any movie. And like the more people talk about it, the word of mouth is going to get more and more. Even if it's divisive, people are going to want to see it because of how divisive it is. People are going to want to have a voice of an opinion, whether they love it, whether they hate it. And that's going to drive people to see it even more, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think it's going to wind up doing fine, but we'll see.
Oh, yeah. So, I can't really say much for a potential sequel because I haven't seen it yet. But maybe after I see it, I will either love the idea of a sequel or not be that interested. We just never know till I actually see it.
Hey, without spoiling anything about Romulus, it's left that they could or could not do a sequel, I would say. It doesn't matter. Like, if they don't do one, we're fine. If they do one, there's material to work with. It's actually spanning that gap pretty well without spoiling anything.
Awesome. All right, so I think that's all of our news topics today.
Let's put that banner. I don't have a ton of activity in the TikTok chat. I don't think we have any comments anywhere else. But we still got to get back in the swing of doing horror headlines every Tuesday. So I think we might do, unless there's anything coming up in the chat, we'll probably just call it for tonight, and we'll be back next Tuesday for another edition of horror headlines. We'll do a little more promotion for next week. Hunter, you want to run the outro for the folks?
Let me go ahead and pull it up. I will. All right, guys. Stay scared and have a good night. Let me go ahead and find where it is.